you get to see memories being made in real time. Because the reality is, if I don't have a positive memory associated with a company, associated with a school, associated with my church, associated with a nonprofit organization, it's hard for me to see myself staying, supporting them, and coming back.
I'm your host, Taylor Ann Carpenter, and welcome to The Talk Chamber, a production of the Greater Memphis Chamber. The Talk Chamber is the podcast for the latest on the Chamber, economic development, and all things Memphis. Today's episode is a super exciting one. This episode features the dynamic duo, Janniece Garner and Jay Smith of Bluff City Parties and Events. Thanks so much for joining me, guys.
Thanks for having us.
We're happy to be here.
Awesome. So I always like to start out getting to know my guest and letting our audience hear about who you are and what you do. So if each of y'all could just take a couple minutes and tell me about yourself. Jay, we'll start with you.
Okay, so my name is Jay Smith, Memphis native, all school here. For my freshman year in college, I went off, but I ended up graduating from the University of Memphis. So very proud to be a Memphian, love Memphis. Can't see myself anywhere else.
Hey, I'm Janniece Garner, born and raised here in Memphis. I love everything about Memphis. Mom and Dad raised me to be the change I want to see. And I'm excited to be here, have a history being a public servant, and now we serve the public in a different way.
So tell us about that way. What is that different way?
So the way that we serve the public is by bringing people together. So Bluff City Parties and Events helps organizations and families host family fun events. So anytime that we need to bring people together, whether that's to celebrate, whether that's to inform, whether that's to spread different resources, that's what we help people do with organizations here in the city. We work with the city of Memphis. We work with your St. Jude's. We work with all the different organizations that are really bringing people together here.
So can you give us an example of some of the events that you've done recently? I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw y'all at 901 Day.
901 Day was an awesome and amazing day. We celebrating all things Memphis. Memphis is a gold mine. If you don't know it, you got to get with it. 901 Day was awesome and amazing to see all the people out. For 901 Day, we participated in two different events. We participated with the run at the National Civil Rights Museum. We provided face painting and information with some of our mentees, employees. And then we also participated with the City of Memphis 901 Day at the Handy Street Park. And it was awesome and amazing time, just having fun, celebrating Memphis, all things Memphis.
Now, Janniece, are you a Memphis native too?
I am born and raised here. I graduated from Whitehaven High School. Whitehaven shaped me in many ways. We have that pride, hometown grown pride to be the best we can be.
So I want to back up for a second. How did y'all even start Bluff City Parties and Events? How did this come about?
So Bluff City Parties and Events is actually, it started on the foundation of a business that my grandparents started. So this is a true family-owned business, owned and operated. So my grandparents started, it was called Bounce City Memphis, and it was an event planning company, but it focused more so on backyard events, smaller organizational events. And we just work within that business. My mom worked a lot of the back office. I work with my granddad out at events, working with the actual organizers, setting things up. And that kind of laid the foundation. When it came to Bluff City Parties and Events, we wanted to rebrand it and make it for larger scale events. And one thing that really inspired us to do that was the Memphis Bicentennial celebration. The Bicentennial event was hosted by the city of Memphis on Mud Island, and that was probably the largest event that we hosted with my grandparents. And it was just a wonderful event, having people from all over Memphis come down to celebrate the history of Memphis. And seeing that event, we kind of said, we want to take our business to the next level and host more events where we engage in more people. Like this year, we partnered with Memphis Parks to host the Family Fun Fridays. I know the July 4th celebration had over 10,000 guests at the event. And each of the individual events where we were set up at the different community centers. We were at this year we were at Burt Ferguson. We were at multiple different community centers over the city, and those had thousands of guests at each individual event. So that's what Bluff City Parties and Events is. We help organizations bring large groups of people together to engage.
I take it that y'all are pretty busy because Memphis always has something going on, and I see y'all pretty much everywhere. So we are thankful for you guys for putting on great events and helping our city do fun things and, make the name for itself in that way. My next question kind of is just about what y'all have learned through running an event and party business. That's a unique industry. Not everybody's in that industry, and not everybody understands what goes into that. Janniece, could you speak to that a little bit? Kind of, what have you been learning? What have you learned through all the years of doing this?
So what I've learned through all the years of doing this is be able to pivot on demand in a blink of an eye. With planning events, there's a lot that goes into it. A lot of people see the big fun events and they see, the inflatables, they see the face painters, they see the carnival rides, they see just the stage setup, they see all the wonders of the big event. But there are a lot of things that go on in planning. And what I've learned, another thing that I've learned is when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that is a true and through statement because the more in-depth your planning is, the less likely you're going to have to pivot as much. You still may have to pivot, but planning is essential. And what I've also gained is we are golden here, and just working with all the different companies that we work for, some of the Amazons, the Nikes, some of the organizations here in the area. We have a really special group of people here in Memphis.
It's really spot on. Like she said, being able to pivot when you're working with different people is really getting everybody seeing the same vision. Like that's the start of planning any great event. Everybody having the same vision and being able to figure out how to put that vision together. And again, being able to pivot last minute because you'll have this big elaborate plan on getting everything in, setting everything up, and the day comes and we might have a little traffic that throws stuff off. We might have this organization or this company doing XYZ that throws different things off. So always being able to pivot with, a good attitude. I think that's really important. And through the events that we've been able to plan, that's been the essential part of it. Like being able to work with different organizations and see the vision through.
Memphis has, we're known for a logistics hub. We are becoming this great tech hub. Why Memphis? Why should somebody start a business, own a business, run a business in Memphis?
For me personally, it was more so being a native and seeing the different things going on in Memphis and figuring out where I fit into that. I think my grandparents building a foundation definitely set us up for a good start. And also being able to see, okay, this is where we started, but we can go so much farther. We can impact so many more people. So that's the reason that we choose Memphis, because we see the potential. We are a part of the potential here in Memphis. So being able to work on ourselves and work with other people to see Memphis grow, that's like a big piece of why we do it here.
Being a part of the potential. That's awesome. So when it comes to owning, you've already mentioned you ran into snags, you ran into things that happen. Do you have any, advice for people when their business runs into a little snag or their event runs into a little snag?
I'd say be flexible and don't beat yourself up. I think one thing which hinders some people is the fear of failure. There's actually no failure. There are only opportunities to learn better, make a change, and do something different. And I think if as a business owner, to give yourself some grace and space to learn and do better.
Definitely piggybacking off of her, definitely give yourself grace and space to grow.
But you also have to create the business plan so the business can be self-sustaining. No one goes into business to give away money. And I think one important thing is understanding what business actually is, building those relationships and creating that value from your own perspective. What we offer, we're not trying to be like everybody else. We bring Bluff City fun. And so we create a Bluff City experience tailored to the vision of our customers. We talk to our customers, and we made the business work for us and our customers.
Like she said, like when you're building out your business, when you're making a plan, you just have to make sure that you account for the things that you would have to do in order to create the service or create the product that you want to create. You know, if you have hiccups in the process, you need to have, capital or money to be able to rectify the things that you messed up on, because it's not always going to be us talking it out and that everything is fine. If you mess up, there's a price to pay for it. So when we go to plan these excellent events, we set the standard for our events. We have to have the space for us to rectify if we do reach a hiccup or we do not meet the vision for the event. So just being able to compensate for what you see as the goal for the product or the service that you're bringing.
I want to dive a little deeper into the daily with you guys. What is y'all's role, and what does the day look like?
Well, we are a growing business, and as a growing business, I wear a lot of hats. Right now, I am the Chief Executive Officer, but I also manage admin, and that's a lot of different facets, including customer service, managing customer relation experience. Day to day, a lot of networking, a lot of talking with people, not only for our business, but also for our partnering organization, Bluff City Cares. We do a lot in the community, and so it's important for our business to uphold one of those values, to be the change that we want to see. And in that, it creates an opportunity to do a lot of networking and a lot of showing up, being visible, and supporting other businesses, supporting our local schools, supporting each other. And it's supporting our employees, because our employees we have the best employees ever. And so we make sure that we want to support them through everything as well.
So for me, I'm more on the operation side. So I'm the person that kind of oversees the logistics of the event. So making sure that we have the trucks out on time, making sure that the equipment is getting out on time, making sure the equipment is maintained, and really working a little bit more closely with the crew as it comes to when it comes to the crew, and just making sure that they have everything that they need. I do work a lot in the networking department, making sure that we're showing up to different events and going to other organizational events and supporting other partners in the community. But my focus is more so operational, and I do some on the social media side, looking at what type of content we need to create and what type of content we need to put out to let people know what it is that we're doing, and just letting people know our capability, letting them know what type of events that we can put on and help people with. So that's my focus.
So what are those types of events that you can do? What's your capabilities?
Okay, so we can help any organization host a family fun event. And what that looks like is bringing people together for fun, and also when they come together for fun, what else can you offer? So with the City of Memphis Family Fun Fridays this summer, what we did is we created a kid zone for families to come out and engage. And along with the event, there were a lot of organizations that had different resources for the community. So we're going into the community, bringing people out of their houses to come together, but we also making sure that they leave that event with something. So there are different organizations from Shelby County government, from the city government that had resources for the community. And we, like I said, we just want to make sure that they are leaving with something.
So I'd like to also say that not only do we do corporate events, organizational events, we also do events at colleges. We also do backyard parties. We have a lot of loyal customers, repeat customers. They're excited about bringing the Bluff City Fun to their own personal home. I will say that working with some of the larger organizations for their family fun days, for their employee engagement days, that has been an amazing experience because we get to see the results of a company, an employer, showing appreciation to their employees. We get to see their employees create anchors with each other. When you coming out to have fun, you're anchoring down. Easier to stay together when we anchor together.
Sounds like y'all have a fun job.
Yeah, for sure. And like she said, seeing it's like you get to see memories being made in real time, because the reality is if I don't have a positive memory associated with a company, associated with a school, associated with my church, associated with a nonprofit organization, it's hard for me to see myself staying, supporting them, and coming back. So when we think about Memphis as a whole, we are strictly here to form these anchors with the community of Memphis, to make sure that people feel like they're supported, make sure people feel like they're loved, feel like they can have fun, and come together in the city of Memphis.
Why is it important for Memphians to feel like they can be supported, have fun, be loved, enjoy our city?
It's so important because when you have something that is yours and you believe that is yours, you take better care of it. When Memphians are able to see that they can be supported, they can have fun, they can come together, they can lead initiatives in their own communities, they take ownership of it. And that's the best part about being in this job. We can be a part of that.
What's the best part of being in this job, Janniece?
The best part of being in this job for me is twofold. It's to see the impact made and to be impacted. When I say to see the impact being made, that starts with our employees. Like I said, we got the best employees ever. And we couldn't do this without them. To see their growth in their personal lives. Some of them are in school, high school. Some of them are away at college now. And some of them have their own endeavors that they're pursuing outside of working with us. And we support them in that, just to see the growth, to see the satisfaction, to see the mindset shift, to see the light bulbs going off, to watch them do what they do in the community. We actually have some employees that have made some pretty big impacts, and it's pretty cool to be on the sideline cheering for them, and they're reaching their goals. The other aspect of it is to be impacted. Quite often, organizations sometimes focus on how they're making an impact, but I will say that not only do our employees, but our customers impact me. I get to see a lot of amazing things, helping me to change my mindset when needed, to make a shift, giving me motivation to keep going. I mean, it's just an amazing part of that. You know, all the hard work is really worth it to me, because I get to see the change, I get to be a part of the change, and I get to witness it in other areas, in other people's lives, and everything like that.
That's really exciting, especially when you are doing something that you enjoy and then you see other people flourishing from something that you started, that you have a lot of ownership in. Now they're using that and they're making memories, or they're achieving their goals, or, now they're off doing something completely different, but, they got their start right here alongside you. And that's something that I think is really cool about, running a business and employing high school students and college students is you're watching them just get their start in the career world.
Yeah, I really think that small businesses, we actually have a power that we have not tapped into yet here in Memphis. As a small business, we can transform our community. As a small business, I can create a healthy work environment. I can create a position with a livable wage. In me creating a great working environment for my employees, they're not stressed out when they go home. Sometimes we do have days where we work a little bit harder, but they might be a little tired, but they're not frustrated and mad at the world because they had an awful day at work. When you think of someone leaving home and going home to leaving work, when you think of someone leaving work, going home to interact with their family, when they're not as stressed, when they're not as worried about the money that they're making, guess what? Now they have a more positive experience at home. When our parents can engage with the kids because they're not as frustrated, not stressed out, not mad about the money, not worried about the money, that puts them in a better position to love on their family. Guess what? When kids are loved on more, when everybody's loved on more in the proper manner, we all are better people.
How can employers cultivate a good work environment?
So one thing that we do, like she said, is we really look to cultivate not only our employees on the job, but also we want them to look into their actual desires. So things that they really want to do in the world around them. So we have people that are looking into directing films. We have people that are looking into get into food businesses. People that are looking into get into wellness businesses. Like, we are actually cultivating entrepreneurship within the workplace. So these people have passions that they're going towards, and we're working with them to move towards those passions. So it's kind of like we're all helping each other work. We're all helping each other get better. They're helping us get better, and we're supporting them as well in their endeavors. So I think that anytime that you have a common goal, it's easier for people to move forward together. And that's what we focus on, establishing a common goal with all our employees.
So you mentioned Bluff City Cares and a partnership with that. Could you talk about that?
Okay, so Bluff City Cares is our way of involving the community in the business that we do. So we have three main pillars. So one is incentives. So we go into elementary schools and incentivize students based off attitude, academics, and attendance. And once students earn a certain amount of points, they get to participate in what we call the PI Day, acronym Purpose Incentives Initiative. So it's a PI Day that they get to come in and just have a good time. And it's all based around them earning the points in those three main areas. So students are just incentivized. Adults are incentivized in their daily life. We work at a certain rate or work at a certain standard to get paid, to live a certain lifestyle. And we just think students need to be incentivized as well. Another pillar is the Next Step mentorship. And we mentor and hire high school and college students. So that's where they get to come in with Bluff City parties and events and get to work. So we have the crew that goes out and sets up different events. We have a social media team. We have some of the admin work as well. So it's different things that we can bring people in to do. And we also have the business community engagement where we encourage other business owners and other organizations to get involved in the community. So even with a Pi Day and Next Step mentorship, we've had businesses like Slice of Soul. We've had Guthrie's. We've had our bank, Pinnacle Financial Partners, come in and be a part of those different pillars and really impact the community. So that's what Bluff City Cares is about, and we are excited to work hand in hand with them.
That's really exciting. That's really awesome to see businesses giving back and giving back in such unique and intentional and impactful ways. I just want to take the remainder of our time to talk about your connection with the Chamber. How did y'all first, come in contact with the Chamber? What was that?
Well, I'll say it's been, we've completed our first official year as a member of the Greater Memphis Chamber. We actually came to a Chamber Now event and learned a lot about just the Chamber and what they do and the opportunities for us as a small business, what it could do for us. And speaking with the staff here, our first session was with Miss Jeanette Jones and Mr. Eldridge, and it was a very eye-opening session that just showed us the possibilities. And we came in, feet on the ground, running.
I was just about to say, if you want to talk about involvement and people who get involved, it's you two. Y'all dove right in. Y'all are ambassadors. What do y'all do with the ambassador program?
As an ambassador, what we do is we go out to other business owners that are celebrating with a ribbon cutting, and we also inform other people about what the Chamber does and the possibilities with the Chamber. Like she said, the Chamber opens up a lot of networking opportunities for us. Actually, the Guthrie's partnership that we did with Pi Day was formed through a ribbon cutting. So it just opens up different opportunities for business owners and organizations as well.
So what's been kind of your number one thing, your number one takeaway from this first year of Chamber membership?
I'll say you got to show up. I mean, I've talked to a lot of different people about, different chambers or different opportunities that are similar. And a big thing is, how do we get a return on, becoming a member? And the thing is, you have to show up. You have to go out. You have to network. You have to talk with different people. You got to let people know what it is that you do. Every event that we go to, sometimes we go together. Sometimes we split up because there's multiple chamber events. And, that's what we focus on. We really focus on coming in, learning about what's going on in Memphis, and letting people know about what we have going on. That's a big part of being engaged with any organization. You really have to show up and you really have to be visible.
Yeah, I'd say the reality is that we need each other. As a city, we need each other. As businesses, we need each other to support each other. And this creates that opportunity.
So my last question for you both is, what's one thing that you want to say to Memphians about Memphis or about the Chamber or about running a business, working?
One thing I say is stand up. Memphis, stand up. Be the change that you want to see. There's a lot of different gaps that we have in Memphis that will be filled by Memphians. I believe that we have a chance to really impact Memphis, and we talk to a lot of different people about the gaps. Like I said, the gaps that are in Memphis. When you think about, businesses, you think about transportation, it's a bunch of different things that we talk about. So Memphians, be proud to be a Memphian. There are a lot of things that we can do and we are doing to make Memphis better, and take charge of it. Everybody has the ability to be the change that they want to see.
Hey, I got to double down on be the change you want to see. Memphis, we are the change for Memphis. It's not going to be anybody else but Memphis that saves Memphis. Y'all, let's come together. Let's support each other. Let's be accountable. Y'all, let's spread a positive word about Memphis. There are a lot of good things going on in Memphis. I see a lot of good stuff day in and day out. I refuse to share anything negative about my city because my city is the gold mine. A lot of other people know it. We just got to tap into it ourselves.
And another thing, make sure that we show up and support each other. There are so many different events that we see on social media that are doing positive things in Memphis. So many business owners that are doing positive things in Memphis. Make sure that we show up for each other because that's the only way that we can be the change we want to see.
And you guys are doing just that. So thank you guys for joining me today.
All right.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of The Talk Chamber. We are so glad you're here. As Janniece and Jay told us, Memphis is fun. You just need to go out and find it. More importantly, we need to be the change we want to see. If you liked this episode or learned a valuable piece of information, share this episode with a friend or maybe even a colleague. Subscribe to the Talk Chamber to keep up with the latest on the Chamber, economic development, and all things Memphis. Follow us on social media at Memphis Chamber, and we'll see you next time.